My name is Rebecca Morgan, and this story begins on a crisp autumn morning when everything I thought I knew about love shattered like glass. I was 32, a graphic designer with modest success, married to Marcus, a real estate attorney, who drove a Mercedes and wore Italian suits. We had a beautiful 3-year-old daughter named Lily, with eyes like polished amber and a laugh that could melt the coldest heart. My father, George, was a retired postal worker, a quiet man with weathered hands and a heart bigger than the world. He'd saved for years, decades, really to give me something special when Lily was born. That gift was a silver Honda Accord. Nothing fancy, but to him, it represented everything. Security, independence, love. "This is for you and my grandbaby," he'd said, pressing the keys into my palm with tears in his eyes. "So you'll always be safe." I drove that car everywhere, to the grocery store, to Lily's pediatrician appointments, to my small office downtown. It smelled like my father's cologne and my daughter's apple juice boxes. It was freedom, until it wasn't. The change happened gradually, like winter creeping in. Marcus started making comments. "That car is getting old, Becca. It doesn't really fit our lifestyle anymore. What will clients think when they see you pulling up in that?" I laughed it off at first. Marcus had always been image conscious, but I loved him. We'd met in college, married young, built a life together. He could be controlling sometimes, yes, but I told myself it came from a place of caring. Then one morning, I woke up and the car was gone. "Where's my Honda?" I asked, standing in our driveway in my bathrobe, panic rising. Marcus was drinking coffee, scrolling through his phone. He barely looked up. "I sold it." The words hung in the air like smoke. "You? What?" "I got you something better. A leased BMW. It's being detailed. You'll have it by Friday." My hand started shaking. "That was my father's gift, Marcus. You had no right. I'm your husband. I have every right to make decisions for this family." His voice was cold, businesslike. "Your father will understand. It's an upgrade." But it wasn't an upgrade. It was control. I took the subway that day, Lily's small hand in mine, tears burning behind my sunglasses. That's when I saw him, my father, standing on the platform, his face collapsing when he spotted me. "Baby girl, why aren't you driving?" The words caught in my throat. "How do you tell your father that the gift he sacrificed for is gone? That your husband sold it without asking? Like it meant nothing? Why aren't you using the car I gave you?" His voice cracked. I couldn't lie. "Marcus sold it. He said we needed something better." I watched my father age 10 years in that moment. His shoulders sagged. His eyes went dim. "He took the car and used your family to threaten you?" he asked quietly. I nodded, remembering the argument that followed. When I demanded Marcus get my car back, he turned cold. "You want to make this difficult, Rebecca? I'll make it difficult. I'll file for custody. My mother will testify you're unstable. You'll lose Lily. Try me." My father stood there on that subway platform, and I saw something I'd never seen before. Pure, quiet fury. "Don't worry, sweetheart," he said, kissing my forehead. "Just don't worry." 3 weeks later, Marcus came home late, loosening his tie with a satisfied smile. "Big case settled today. 7-figure commission." He poured himself scotch. "I'm meeting the senior partners in Miami next weekend. Celebration trip." He didn't invite me. He never did anymore. That weekend, I found the receipt in his jacket pocket. Not for Miami. For a boutique hotel 2 towns over. For 2 guests. My hands trembled as I checked our credit card statement. Jewelry I'd never received. Dinners at restaurants we'd never visited together. A pattern going back months. Her name was Vanessa, a paralegal at his firm. 25. Blonde. Everything I apparently wasn't anymore. I sat on our bedroom floor, our daughter sleeping down the hall, and felt my marriage dissolve around me. But I didn't cry. Instead, I called my father. "Dad," I whispered. "I need help." "I know, baby," he said softly. "I've been waiting for you to be ready." My father had been busy during those 3 weeks, talking to his old postal service buddies, making calls, gathering information. Turns out, Marcus's seven-figure commission was actually money he'd been skimming from a client trust account. Illegal, disbarment-worthy, prison-worthy. But my father didn't go to the police, not yet. Instead, he did something far more elegant. He bought back my Honda Accord, found the man Marcus sold it to, paid double what it was worth, and restored it completely. New paint, new interior, new everything. It looked better than the day he'd first given it to me. Then he invited Marcus to lunch. I wasn't there, but my father told me every detail later. They met at a diner downtown. Marcus arrived late, annoyed, checking his phone. "What do you want, George?" My father slid an envelope across the table. Inside were copies of the misappropriated funds, emails between Marcus and Vanessa planning to run away together. Everything. "I want my daughter's car returned to her driveway by tonight," my father said calmly. "I want you to sign divorce papers giving Rebecca full custody and 70% of marital assets. And I want you to leave and never threaten my family again." Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. "You're a retired mailman. You think you can threaten me?" My father leaned forward, his voice steady as stone. "I think you have a choice. Sign the papers, or I deliver this evidence to the state bar, the district attorney, and every news outlet in the city tomorrow morning. Your career ends. Your freedom ends. Everything ends." Marcus's face went white. "You wouldn't try me," my father said, standing up. "You took something precious from my daughter and made her feel small. Now, you understand what it feels like to have everything taken away." He left Marcus sitting there, staring at the envelope. By that evening, my Honda was in the driveway, gleaming under the streetlights. Marcus signed the papers a week later. No contest, no lawyers, no custody battle. He moved out quietly, afraid of what would happen if he didn't. Vanessa left him shortly after. Once she realized there was no money to run away with. The bar investigation happened anyway. My father made sure of that, and Marcus lost his license. Last I heard, he's selling insurance in another state. 2 years have passed. Lily is 5 now, starting kindergarten. She loves riding in Grandpa's special car, as she calls it. My father visits every Sunday. We have breakfast together, and he tells Lily stories about when I was little. I've started my own design business, successful enough that I bought my father a new truck last Christmas. He cried when I gave him the keys, just like I did when he gave me the Honda. Some people might say what my father did was revenge. Maybe it was, but to me, it was something else. It was a father protecting his daughter. It was love refusing to stay quiet. It was kindness with a backbone. The Honda sits in my driveway still. I'll never sell it, because every time I drive it, I remember that I come from people who don't back down, who don't let cruelty win, who fight for what matters, and I'm teaching Lily the same lesson. Love isn't about control. It's about respect. It's about sacrifice. It's about standing up when someone you love is being hurt. My father taught me that, and I'll never forget it. Sometimes the greatest act of love is knowing when to fight back. Not with anger, but with quiet, determined strength. That's what real family does. They protect, they remember, and they never let you face the darkness alone.